So I've come across a hadith that is attributed to Al-Kafi, where it says the Quran that Jibreel brought to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam consisted of 17,000 verses. Could you confirm if that's correct?
Of course.
Right. So this would mean that
we don't know. So we don't know. See, division of surahs into verses. What consists of verse? That's a matter of ijtihad of Sahaba. So even between different manuscripts of the Noble Quran, between the qira'at, even Surah Al-Fatiha, how many verses it has, and which two sections, which two statements, or which phrases a verse on itself as well. This is all matters of contention and difference. So this hadith that Quran had 17,000 verses. How much extra wording did that Quran have compared to the current Quran? We don't know, because it could be that the current verses that we have in the eyes of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu wasalam, they could be further divided into more verses. So you have to keep that in mind.
But there is the belief, right, that you've been propagating as well, that there are verses that have been lost. There are parts that have
absolutely, without any question. The Shia and Omari traditions, there are so many that they underline the same point, that there are verses that have been lost, or purposefully they have been omitted from the Noble Quran.
Right. So could it be the case that actually some of the verses that we've been looking at over the last few days, not to say the breastfeeding one, but some of the other ones may have actually existed in the full, what has come down from Jibreel to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
So of course, everything that Allah sent to the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not lose them. He kept them and he safeguarded them and he handed them over to Imam Ali alayhi salam.
Right. But let's say if we're talking about how the Omari tradition has a verse of stoning, for example, could it have been that that has genuinely been lost and is not in the current Mus'haf?
Of course. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And what about in terms of the order of the surah that we currently have and the arrangement?
There's no difference of opinion that the sequence of the surah, that is ijtihad of Sahaba. That's not from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So first you have Surah Al-Fatiha, then Baqarah, Al Imran. This is Sahaba's work. So there's not even a second opinion on this question.
Okay. And what about the ayat within a single surah?
Oh yeah, within the ayat within a single surah, the short surahs, obviously, because they were so common to be recited at the time during prayers, and a lot of people memorized them. So with respect to the shorter surahs, the order and sequence, and also because of the rhyming and so many other factors, we could tell that they have been preserved. However, with all of Quran, that's not the case. So there is no proof in the history of Quran that the sequence of the ayahs within the surahs, they were kept honestly by the Sahaba. Rather, there's plenty of evidence that indicates, and Hafiz ibn Hajar and al-Fath al-Bari, he confesses that there's also the sequence of ayahs within surahs, they are ijtihad of Sahaba. But on the contrary, there is no proof that this is not there. So there is proof, evidence, circumstantial and otherwise, that this is the work of Sahaba to the current order of verses we have. And these evidence are quite many. So there were not one or two. On the other hand, there's not a single proof that says that this is not the work of Sahaba. So that's something to be kept in mind. Yeah.